Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity, Aaron Mato. Krishna, it's a pleasure to be here. And we are talking about AI. I believe the topic that we hear a lot is AI. AI is more and more important in the context of automation, business, bringing intelligence. And I'd like to share with you some visions that IDC have with conversation with end users, survey with the companies, to understand the challenges these companies face. If we observe here, in this graph, IDC ran a survey in the beginning of 2025, talking to companies in different sizes, different industries, to understand their business priorities this year. And what we see that on top of the list, we see process automation, accelerate process automation, connected to increase productivity of the organization. For these companies, it's clear that automation, productivity are connected topics, and this is more important when the digital, the transformation of business based on technology is becoming more and more present, more relevant in these organizations. We see that in 2025, 42% of the revenue of different companies come from products and services enabled by the digital, and up to 2030, this number will go to 60% of the revenue of these companies. So more and more technology enabling these businesses, transforming the way the companies deliver products and services, generating value to the clients. And more digital and need the automation support and intelligence. And there are different challenges that these companies face in this context. I mentioned the advance of digital, more and more advance in digital business, but we also have the agility that is very important in the context of the market that is more and more competitive, respond to clients' demand faster, deliver products faster, and clients' expectations that evolve more and more as they have choices of services. Your service, if it's efficient and agile and intelligent, you make a difference, and rapidly your client is loyal to you. And we also have data intelligence. It's mandatory now that the companies use their data to understand the client, the context of the business, improve their relationship with business partners, and keep on being different in the market. So we have different challenges that the companies face. One thing hits our attention. For these challenges, a great part of the companies see that automation and intelligent automation with AI is already a pathway to address these problems. 30% of the companies that IDC survey say that they are going to invest on this technology, on this type of technology in the next 24 months. And the objective is to meet the demands and other demands that we see every day in the business. And this investment is not something specific in the financial sector. It's not only banks or insurance companies. We are talking about a holistic point of view in the market. When we see this graph, I know it's very busy, but I'll help you out to translate this graph. We see the trend on investments in technology, intelligent automation, AI, in 2025 and the next years. So if you observe, these dots represent an industry, health, services, finance, manufacture, utilities. And the more to the right on the graph we go, higher is the growth that IDC expect on these companies for 2025. And if they are up in the graph, higher the growth that we see long term, the growth between 2024 and 2028. So we see that all the industry, at some point, they are investing a lot of money, trying to understand this technology, technology, experience this in different scenarios, in different case uses. And observe one topic on the subtitles, the scales. The graph starts on 24, 26%. So we are talking about companies and industries investing and growing their investments on AI and automation around 25, 26% at least this year and the following years. Few technologies now are growing that much with that speed and robustness as AI, automation in the companies, because it's clear now that this technology can bring speed, agility to solve problems in a way that in the past we could not access. It was not easy. Advancing this journey is not simple at all. Most companies are still studying the technology, studying that AI, what they can do. 54% of the companies that we survey are still actively seeking information about AI, trying to understand how to apply in their business context, how to leave the proof of concept and generate value for their organizations. And 43% are already investing in proof of concepts, running more experience, trying to understand how to transform this technology that we say is just for chat, is just for conversation. No, it goes beyond that. Gen AI, Agentic AI, intelligent automation go beyond and break silos, integrating processes to bring amazing results. But among the challenges that we see these companies facing, maybe some of you can see these challenges also in your business context. We see, for example, the aspect of data. Data in quantity and quality in order to be applied in AI capacity. This is a challenge for the companies. Organize the data, share this data inside the organization in a safe and controlled way. That's a challenge. Another point, how can this company experience and understand AI, how they can put it into scale in order to expand to other areas. This is a common challenge, and it's important to consider in our plan. In the first step, I have a specific problem that I'm trying to solve using this new technology, automation, AI integration. But I do not want to stop here. I want to create a platform observing the next step, the next process, the next challenge that we are going to integrate this technology. Another point that comes very frequently and we hear about is knowledge. The companies suffer a lot to find professionals that are ready to manage all these technologies and operate different solutions of AI, automation, and this is a hard work. And the solution providers, these platforms help the companies to share and bring experience and knowledge to decrease this gap, and things can advance faster. So we talked about some challenges, we talked about the characteristics of this moment on investment, but where are these companies applying technology?
In technologies that have AI, there are several cases, and I'm not talking only about the financial sector, but this is a very wide spread that can be applied to all industries. For example, I'm talking about an agile support for clients, to have automation that can quickly integrate different solutions and allow that your service can be very automated, or that simplifies the service professional. You don't need multiple solutions. You just need one solution that is agile and quick. And we are also talking about monitoring the level of quality of service. We'll have intelligent agents that will understand how your structures and applications are responding to the needs of your clients and your partners in business, and to ensure that it's an excellent level, that you have a quicker response, a better quality experience. And so they analyze the scenario and to make decisions to solve the problems that are being identified, and also to have the capacity, the intelligence capacity for automation to identify quickly in a purchase or a claim flow if anything is outside of the standard, and they can make the decision with automation. So we have different uses for these technologies. And 57% of companies are focused on using intelligent AI to improve the consumer experience, because when you can improve your service, give quicker responses, have a better and more fluid experience, that reflects in the client and their relationship with the company, and that will generate better results for the business. So it's interesting to see that many organizations are focusing on intelligence and automation in order to improve the user experience or the client experience. We have the external client, but we also have the internal client, and we must think that automation can improve the employee experience to the extent that if the employee has more noble tasks, and they will be supported by automation and intelligence that can resolve many of the more daily or less noble tasks, that will give them more time to think about how to improve their service for the client. Or maybe if you have a more precise effectiveness, and you have all those tasks that have lots of problems, you can have a quicker flow, and these problems will be solved better and more effectively. So when you can have when you mix all this knowledge on these tasks, we can use AI to break all these internal problems that you have to solve on the phone, calling one person or calling another. We can create a better workflow, a more intelligent workflow that understands the context of the business and can respond with more agility. And this will help for the experience. We had a 37% increase in operational efficiency, 26% of business risk reduction, and 22% of increase in the employee satisfaction. So you improve the experience of the external client, but also the internal client. So your employee will help you and will be more focused on delivering this better experience to your external client. I know we have many things to talk about, but I will be quick, and I just want to leave you with 4 important key points. First of all, what should you consider within your intelligent automation strategy? The first thing is you have to think about data governance. It is important that information is controlled. They have to have adequate governance so that automation processes can be efficient indeed. And you have to have the data that maybe it's not immediately available. It has to be refined, but it also has to compose this base of knowledge and intelligence. The second point is data must flow. We must enable that all those data silos, and we need to guarantee the sharing of data within different departments, areas, or even with external partners, and that has to be safe. Also, you have to choose the best solutions. Modern solutions go beyond the scripts and all those very rigid processes. We have data has to flow, and they will be able to deliver intelligence for the decision-making that are scalable. And fourth, you have to build for the future. If we have a problem today, we have to solve it, but we also have to think about a platform that can expand and scale in order to touch other areas and other businesses. Now I'm going to pass the floor to Krishna, who also has very interesting things to tell us.
Thank you, Luciano. Thrilled to be here. Good afternoon, everyone. A fantastic event indeed. For those of you who are not familiar, my name is Krishna Nacha. It's a pleasure to follow Luciano. Iron Mountain, as you might be aware, is an undisputed leader for the last 70 years in the information, especially the unstructured information space. We're trusted by more than 95% of the Fortune 1000 companies, and we're present in more than 60 plus years. And we've been at the forefront of storing, protecting, transforming, and unlocking any and all kinds of unstructured information, whether in the physical warehouse or in the digital warehouse. Which really then, if I tie it back to what Luciano just talked about, you heard the insights that IDC came up with from an AI, data governance, and the ability to transform processes. We think, as far as these intelligent business processes are concerned, this unleashes a new era of process transformation, which is intelligent business process management, or IBPM. I'm, in the next 10 to 15 minutes, going to do three things. One, we will spend some time talking about what IBPM really is, or intelligent business process management, and what are the benefits. Two, we will actually show you a video of an IBPM solution that we built for one of the largest clients that can potentially land up using this. This client services 2 million employees. And three, we will leave you with some thoughts on what you need to do in order to implement IBPM in your organization. So when you think about IBPM, it essentially comes down to, let me step back. Before we talk IBPM, what is business process management? We all know that business process management is essentially process transformation by looking at the process, looking at the data, and coming up with a model that will deliver cost efficiencies, savings, scalability, and predictable outcomes. Sounds very easy, but it is not. Simply because organizations don't have all their information in one structured place. Organizations have data coming from different formats. It could be in paper, it could be in files, it could be on the cloud, it could be in digital format, etc. And that is really where IBPM comes in. There are three key tenets to IBPM. A centralized content management, which is like a central hub of information. Whatever kind of information. It could be paper, it could be structured data, it could be digitized data, it could be videos, or it could be audio. And then the ability to create workflows with those content management engines. Second is the ability to create workflows and extract the data in order to drive actions and decisions. Third, very specifically for us, as you would see out here, is the ability to use AI to create decisions and easy actions without being a technologist, just using Portuguese, Spanish, or English queries to make it happen. But then it seems like that would be a very big technology implementation. It is not. When you think of IBPM, think of it as a service really made up of four key things. It is an orchestration layer, which is a low-code engine, which means you and I can actually use our native language to create that orchestration layer. It is cloud agnostic. It uses agentic AI. And most importantly, it combines for you, as you can see on the second point here, information into one pane of glass. You don't have to worry about where that information is coming from, what format it is in, what structure it is in. You have this orchestration layer that is getting that data for you. And the third thing specifically is the ability to use AI in order to query, identify insights, and come up with specific actions. So when we talk of BPM, we're talking process transformation, which is intelligent, using technology and AI, using a low-code orchestration platform with the ability to use agentic AI to leverage the data and the information in order to transform the processes. If if you think of the applications of this, this can transform and rewire virtually every single vertical and industry out there. It can transform business processes at the front end, like account opening for a bank, or it could be enrollment for an insurance company, or it could be medical admissions into a hospital. It can help you completely optimize the back-end processes. It could be your accounts payable, or your contracts lifecycle management, or it could even be claims administration. Think about it, you could also transform your middle office, which is your marketing as a service, or your legal services outsourcing, with significant benefits. You can actually drive benefits in terms of cost optimization because you're able to break the silos. You can bring in the kind of efficiencies that you would otherwise not have, because typically siloed organizations are not able to break through the clutter of all the data and the process effectiveness that you need. Third, you could potentially look at bringing up processes that are very flexible and scalable as your business grows. And finally, you are able to actually create a decision set of rules that everyone in the organization can use on their laptop and arrive at ideas. One of the things that we want to do, and I will spend a couple of minutes doing this, I said, having talked about IBPM, we want to show you a video of an IBPM application that we actually built for a very, very large client. This is the Office of Personnel Management, which manages all of the HR life cycle for the largest employer in North America, which is the US federal government. The US federal government manages 2 million employees. So the Office of Personnel Management is responsible for managing the hiring, the payroll, the benefits, the retirement services for these 2 million employees. So now think about it. When there is a retirement claim that is raised by one of the employees in one of the 500 agencies that make up the federal government, there is documentation about that employee that is sitting in paper form, in different systems, in different technologies, in different formats. So when that retirement claim is made, in the normal old process, someone would be bringing in 100 pages of documents, 50 retirement cards, 60 sources of data from different information systems, and then sitting with a rules engine and a big book this thick to identify what they need to do to either approve the retirement claim, how do they pay the benefits, or how they should be rolling it out. This application that we built is a low-code engine that essentially extracts data from different formats, validates it, makes it available in one single pane of glass to ensure that the decision is made by the system using AI with minimal human intervention. What used to take almost 45 days to process a retirement claim can now be done in less than 35 minutes. I'm going to start the demo, and I will speak along with it so you can follow it. If you see what is coming up, this is the original dashboard of what the IBPM Inside DXP platform would look like. 3 key tenets. There is, on the left-hand side, all the documents that are coming in different forms and in different templates. There is intelligent document processing, which is for extraction of the data into one consistent model. Then there is a content management with the workflows, and then there are the specific workflow for retirement that you would pick up. In this example, when all the cases come in to the individual, you will see that the system has the ability to drive and pick a case, consolidate in one pane all the cases, all the documents, all the information sources for this individual, and make it available for the rules engine to start processing the claim. In this case, it is looking at David Patrick Lee. There is a handwritten payroll form with a handwritten address. In some cases, there is some typed address. It is going in and automatically verifying whether that address is right. It is then going back and saying, I have a total of 22 documents, of which 20 are matching, but 2 are not. And these documents have actually come in from multiple different sources. So you can then use AI to run a query, which is to say, what is missing out of these 20 sources of information for us to try and make a call? And the system, not the human, is going in and essentially saying there is a social security mismatch, and then there is a mismatch of an annuity document. And it compiles it intelligently. It tells you where something is erroneous or where the data has gone missing, and then also goes back to do a consistency check to eliminate fraud. Now, remember, all of this is happening, and then it gives you the final recommendation to say, having looked at all these sources of information. Remember, in this case, this individual has worked for about 45 years. There are cards, there are documents, there are files, there are floppy disks, there are CDs of information about that individual. The ability of IBPM to extract that data onto a single pane of glass across all sources, apply workflows, rules engines, then use AI for us to simply query, saying, what information is missing? What kind of a recommendation would you make? Is there a fraud? And what kind of a payout should I make? Is all being done in 35 to 40 minutes with minimal human intervention. So that is the power of IBPM. That is truly intelligent business process management, which builds on some of the insights that Luciano talked about. There is a need for data. There is a need for consistency. There is a need for scalability. And there is a need for a process excellence that needs to be built in, but not limited by human capacity. Technology lets us do it. So when you think about the journey, I said we will talk to you about what the journey itself would be for you. It is really 3 steps. If you want to go back and implement the IBPM journey in your organization, the first step is the foundation. Everything starts with the process. You got to have a harmonized process, you got to standardize the processes, and you got to ensure that the processes are best in class. Step 2, you then want to ensure that you have the right kind of uniform automation and technology so that you break through the silos, so that there is the same set of workflows and the same set of rules that every unit in your siloed organization is following. And there is a lot of technology available for that. And finally, using AI so that it doesn't need a technologist to use the engine, but users like you and I can just query in questions in order to drive what we need to drive. So, in conclusion, if you think about it, if you want to go out and implement IBPM, the first thing to change is the mindset, which is think of it as a service. This is not a technology platform. This is essentially touching all aspects of people, process, technology, data, infrastructure, and most importantly, change management, and understanding what the market is demanding of you. We are delighted to have done this presentation for you together. Please feel free to reach out to any of us if you had any more questions. We are glad to be doing the demos and showcasing to you how something like this can very quickly be implemented in any process, whether front office, mid office, or back office. Thank you very much, and obrigado.